Hello and welcome, fellow runners. If you're someone who struggles with running outside because you can't quite find the right pace for you struggle with speed or you struggle with endurance and distance, then stick around. I'm going to give you some quick and easy tips to help get you at the right pace for your run so you can run longer, stronger and happier. So first off, what I like to do is the talking test. So if you start off and have a nice warm-up run, get a mile or so in, and then once you're in, you want to start talking. So if you're with a partner, talk to them. If not, you can talk to yourself, pretty much like I'm doing right now. And you want to be able to maintain a good conversational pace. You want to be able to finish sentences. So as I'm speaking now, I'm not really gasping for air and I'm quite comfortable talking at this pace. So I would consider this to be my conversational pace. But if I was to speed up and start running like this, I'm going to struggle to hold a conversation. I'm gasping quite a lot, and this is definitely too fast and not a conversational pace, and therefore slow back down, and therefore I won't be able to keep that pace over a prolonged distance. Something else you can try is called the perceived exertion scale. If you think of a scale of 1 to 10 of intensity, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, if you find your 1, which might be just above a walking pace, jogging pace, so pretty much what I'm doing now, this might be a 2 or 3 really, and then if you think of 10 being an all-out sprint, so if I was to speed up like this would be a 10 for me, and I couldn't do this for very long. So if you think of those as your 1 and 10, try and find the midway points about 5 or 6, which for me might be about here. And at this point it feels like I'm working moderately hard. You can probably tell by the sound of my voice I'm a little bit faster than conversational, but I'm working relatively hard and I know I can keep this pace up for quite some time. Another very important tip, especially if you are new to running or you're returning from injury or a break from running for a while, is to really focus on consistency and not so much on speed. So you want to make sure that you're consistently going out for your runs, be it 2 or 3 times a week. And if you can't go for a week, don't try and force everything that you missed into the following week, be it number of runs or total distance you plan to run. That's just going to lead to injuries. So really try not to miss any runs, stay consistent, get those 2 or 3 runs in a week, and you will notice the difference to your performance. My final tip for you today, which is especially important if you're trying to build endurance or build up the total distance that you're able to run, and that's actually not thinking about the distance in the first place, not thinking about the speed either. You just want to focus purely on time. It's time on your feet, and that will improve endurance. And that's what I do if I'm training for longer runs. If I'm not used to doing half marathon distance or full marathon distance, I'll ignore the distance completely and I'll aim for a 1 hour run, but not at a particularly fast pace. Build that up to 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Again, not focusing on the distance at all. It's just getting that endurance built up in my legs. And I do notice the difference quite quickly by doing this. Once I'm comfortable with running for 2 hours without getting too exhausted, I can then focus on building the speed up, which is much easier because I've then already got that level of endurance allowing me to run for that length of time in the first place. So it works out very well for me, and I'm sure if you give it a go, it could well work out for you as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully these tips will prove useful for you. Please let me know in the comments below if there's anything you'd like to see in the future, and I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to this as well, but only if you're enjoying it. So thank you very much guys, and I'll see you soon.